We are back at Geratech, back in a Mini, but this time it is the Mini Cooper JCW, the John Cooper Works. This is the hottest Mini Cooper that you can get your hands on today. 170 kilowatts, 380 Newton meters of torque. This is the same four-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine that you find in the S, in the BMW 128 Ti, the BMW M135, all of those. But yeah, now because it is in a front-wheel drive Mini, you're at about 170 kilowatts, which in my opinion, plenty of power for this little pocket rocket go-kart. Priced from 750,000 Rand, it is not cheap for what it is. It is essentially a two-door, two-seat hatchback. There are seats in the back, but they're not very useful. But listen, if you want something really special, spicy, stands out, is an enormous amount of fun, you have all of that in the Mini Cooper JCW. Let's go into the car, poke around it, and see what it is all about. We are back at Geratech, back inside a Mini, but this time it's not the S. This time we have the full fat, if that's a word you can use for the Mini Cooper. Full fat Mini Cooper JCW, that's the John Cooper Works, gets the full 170 kilowatt, 380 Newton meter, four-cylinder turbo. It's still front wheel drive, but we have better tires, more power, better chassis, adaptive dampers. We have adaptive dampers. So right now I am in the comfort mode, which in the Mini is called core mode. If I put it into the JCW mode, which is the sports mode, and you get this little cheer when you go into sports mode, it's like, we're ready for a good time. So when you do that, it firms up the suspension. And one thing I will say about the JCW being the racier version, the most racy version of the Mini Cooper that you can get your hands on, it is very firm and it is quite low. This is quite a bit lower than most other cars that I've driven. And that just speaks to its performance and handling credentials, which we will learn about here. But before we get to that, it is still standard Mini Cooper, 2025 Mini Cooper inside. Super cool, quirky, youthful design. I love the fabric in here. Yeah, everything is very familiar. It's just a little redder and darker and more serious and sporty and right. Any other changes from the Mini Cooper S or even the regular Mini? No, I think we have these slightly more bolstered seats, leather throughout the seats, not the interior. But yeah, Harman Kardon sound system, I love that. It's a really booming sound system. It sounds quite high end and doesn't suggest that this is just a Harman Kardon nameplate put on some slightly more expensive speakers. No, this is a proper sound system. And yeah, driving it on the road, like I said, it's a bit bumpy. you do listen. If you're going all the way up to the JCW, you want something special, and I think it really makes you feel that between that bumpy suspension, firm suspension, really, really tight stings, very darty, very pointy, and we are on, thank the heavens, Hankook Ventus Evo 3 tires, which are a huge upgrade from the Pirellis that come on the Mini Cooper S. I am very happy about that. They don't have too much road noise, they have all the grip. However, this being quite a high-powered front-wheel drive car, it's quite tricky to get the power down, because we have 215 section tires, front and back, and you just get a lot of slip off the line. You're just spinning, and so you don't get a particularly special 0 to 100 time with the Mini Cooper JCW. I think it's at around 6.1 seconds, but with a panoramic sunroof, we are a bit heavier. Mini says it'll do that in 6.4 seconds. We don't have any instrumented testing. You'll have to look out for Mark Jones for that to confirm that it actually does that 6.1 seconds to 100. But this is not a straight line car. Minis have never been a straight line car. It's about the corners, and even then, it's not about grip in the corners. It's about having the most fun through the corner, the most fun interacting with the car, and they really like moving around. They benefit from moving around. Mini is really about putting a smile on your face. So far, I haven't driven this car at 10/10, and it's done a really good job at putting a smile on my face. It's a fun little car. Just everything about it is fun. And yeah, Mini and Porsche have said this time and time again. They've really nailed that sort of recognizing that they have this iconic shape, this iconic brand, and that there are iconic elements in their cars that they just have to carry them through. Like, since the 60s, both the 911 and the Mini Cooper have been roughly the same shape. They've grown a little, but they are still, relative to other cars, to their contemporaries, it's still on the smaller side, punchy, those classic Mini round lights. It's very small in here, so the car is 750,000 rand, thereabouts. So you're making quite a lot of sacrifices in terms of practicality and such, but you get this really iconic shape. Lots of fun. It is quite high end inside the car, so you're not just shelling out 750 grand for nothing. For a lot of people, this wouldn't make sense, but for young at heart people, I should say rather, young at heart people who are looking for a premium driving experience, decent amount of power, all the amenities. You have this like super cool round infotainment system with, I think it's among the better non-strictly Android Auto, Apple CarPlay infotainment systems that I've experienced. You have these like really fun features in there, the design, the materials. We have taken a couple of steps down over years past, but I mean, compared to contemporaries, for example, what you get out of a Polo GTI, which isn't strictly this car's competitor, but looking at a Polo GTI, Golf GTI, you know, this does feel a bit better built than its VW contemporaries. And yeah, the Mini Cooper JCW in particular sits in a weird spot because it's about VW Polo sized, but it's around VW Golf GTI performance roughly. So it's a bit difficult to place it, but you know, we say it's somewhere between the Polo and Golf GTIs. Nevertheless, people who want a Mini will go get a Mini because it just has something so much more special about it, and you don't even have to drive it yet. Just looking at it, sitting in it, experiencing it statically already feels quite a bit more special than a lot of its contemporaries. And then you get behind the wheel, that short wheelbase, tiny wheelbase, square, punchy. It's so happy to move around. And now we're moving around quite a bit. I'm glad that we have a lot grippier tires, but because there's still a 215 section, they're still narrow, it's not over gripped. And in the JCW, more than the Cooper S, the tail really likes coming out. In the Cooper S, I think it was set up very, very, very safely. But in this, man, I can get so much more movement out of the rear, which is where the special sauce is with front wheel drive cars. Like short wheelbase, front wheel drive cars, the special sauce is in the rotation from the rear. Man. Yes. I'm not even going 10 tenths. Like, this is still relaxed-ish. Not totally relaxed, but we're still taking it easy around the circuit. And man, it feels so much fun. It's literally a front wheel drive go-kart. It's a front wheel drive go-kart. And the JCW, of course, way more than other front wheel driven cars that are on the market, which we are getting less and less of, unfortunately. It's just the way of the world. You don't have too many front wheel drive hot hatches anymore. It's just a VW Polo, the VW Golf. I don't think you can really call the Corsa a hot hatch because that's still not necessarily performance oriented or marketed as a performance hatch. So your options aren't many in 2025.
Boot space. Ish, let's not lie to ourselves. You're not going to be fitting your whole micro grocery haul in here. Maybe a gym bag, a laptop, and the hopes and dreams that you have. But hey, it's a Mini. It's not a bikie. And now, the exhaust, or should I say the mystery exhaust, going on the tune pipes that used to scream, "I'm loud and proud." Now, there's a sneaky hidden exhaust under the rear bumper. It's like Mini said, let's be fast, but let's not tell anyone. Kinda like the cousin who's rich, but still wears All-Stars. Step inside, and it's like Mini said, let's make it fancy, but still vibey. You've got sports seats that hug you tighter than your go-go when you're saying you're moving to Cape Town. Infotainment, big round screen in the middle. Looks like a jukebox, but it's got Apple CarPlay, nav, and all the tech that make you feel like you're in a spaceship. A very fast, very loud spaceship. Yes, the Mini Cooper John Cooper works. The car that says, I'm small, but I'll move you in a drag. We'll still have to find out.
The Mini JCW, Mini Cooper JCW did not disappoint. It has all the thrills, all the fun, and we had so much fun around Geotech in this car. I think this is the perfect circuit for this little car. Like, it's really short, sharp, you get to really play around with it. I really enjoyed it. The fact that we are gonna drive home comfortably in this and still have the same amount of fun on the road just blows my mind. 750,000 Rand is a bit steep for what it is, but again, if you want a Mini JCW, you will get a Mini Cooper JCW. I think it's a great car, very few flaws, just a bit stiff, but that's what you get when you go all the way to the top of the performance tree in a model race. I love the car. I don't know what you think. Share it in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching.